Hi. So my grandmother had this belief that the best remedy for any illness, including a broken heart, is a good chicken broth soup. So this is my chicken. This is our third take with the video, so the chicken is a little bit cooked, but it's gonna go into the water as if it's its first time, okay? Because I'm sorry, I can't have like 5 chickens hanging out here. You know, I'm alone with David. I mean, who's gonna eat all that chicken? So, okay, so the chicken is going into boiling water, and it's going to cook in the water for 10 minutes once you get the first boil, and then it will be completely clean because I'm taking off all the the dirt from the chicken and the extra fat. Okay, so this here is the dirt and the fat that the chicken got rid of, and now it's time to wash it under the water. I'll be back. So now I'm going to add the vegetables into my chicken. So I'm taking my leek and I'm adding it to the chicken. This is 1 leek actually. It's a long leek. And then 2 carrots, peeled of course. 2 zucchinis. 1 celery root, peeled. Celery root is super healthy for you. 1 onion, I would say medium big size. This is the celery leaves. And a beautiful bunch of dill. Dill. Anyway, it's a dill. So the fire's on, and I'm adding boiling water into the pot. The spices that I'm going to use for a pot this size, I would say maybe medium large. I like to add a tablespoon of salt, chicken soup powder. This one is great, but this is Knorr, but any other one would do. 1 full tablespoon of chicken soup powder, and pepper, black pepper. I like it with a lot of pepper, so it really depends on how you like it. But some good pepper will do. Make sure you cover the chicken and the vegetables with water. My soup is boiling. I'm covering the pot and lowering the heat. It will stay like this. I'm even going to change it to a smaller fire on a very small heat for 3 hours. The more the better, if we really want it to be concentrated chicken soup. So meanwhile my soup is cooking, I'm going to prepare the matzo balls. Ali McGowan, this is for you. So I'm dedicating the soup and the matzo balls for you, Ali. So now I'm going to demonstrate the quantity of 1 egg, because I am here locked in my house with David, my husband, and Patchouli. So we don't need a lot of matzo balls. So for 1 egg, I break my egg in 2. I'm looking at the 2 parts of the shell. The bigger one is the one I need. I'm going to pour into the half of eggshell of water. I'm going to add half a spoon of salt. So, you know, I'm sophisticated. I like things to be haute couture cuisine. So we call it haute cuisine. You don't have to do it with these, but I love walnuts. Grinded walnuts. 2 tablespoons of grinded walnuts. It upgrades the matzo balls. My God, it's a couture matzo ball. The matzo flour. There's a matzo flour. You can buy it, I think, everywhere. But if you don't want to do it with matzo flour, patchouli, stop it. Oh my God, she's a menace. Anyway, so if you don't want to use matzo flour, you can use breadcrumbs. It's exactly the same. Patchouli, come here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 tablespoons of matzo flour. Now I'm going to see, pepper, black pepper, grinded pepper, and you know me with olive oil. I like to add a little bit of olive oil into my matzo balls. So half a tablespoon of olive oil, just to give them the softness. Last but not least, oh my God, I always forget, nutmeg. So just a little bit of nutmeg. That is, again, that's a Pnina upgrade. You don't have to, it's not a must, but it gives it such a taste with the grinded walnuts. Okay, so now I'm going to mix. Look how easy it is. The whole thing. Mix it well with a fork. So it has to be not too thick and not too soft. Because if it's too thick, you might have put too much matzo flour or breadcrumbs. And if it's too soft, you have to add a little bit more. Now it's time to put my matzo balls into a pot with boiling water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of olive oil. As I said, these are couture matzo balls. Okay, so make sure you have a little bowl with some fresh water to wet your fingertips in order to create the matzo balls themselves. So this is the size of a matzo ball. It's going into the boiling water. It's a traditional Jewish thing, the matzo ball. I wouldn't eat it every day of the week, but once in a while, it has its charm. It's usually, it's been there for a lot of generations, the matzo ball. One of the heroes of the Jewish cookbook. I can't really say there's a Jewish cuisine or an Israeli cuisine because, you know, we all came from the diaspora and we formed this country. So we have food from Lebanon, from Syria, from Egypt. I'm Egyptian, half Egyptian. From Morocco, half Moroccan. From France, from Spain, from Turkey, from Greece, from everywhere in the world. So the food came with the people. So there's not really an Israeli cuisine, but there are some very, very good Israeli chefs. So I have here a little bit left for a very, very small little matzo ball. This is going to be Patchouli's matzo ball. So now my matzo balls are surfing into the surface of the water. They're coming up from down there, and I'm gonna let them boil for about 10 minutes and check if they're ready. Okay, so I'm not at all an Yiddish speaker. As you all know, I'm half Moroccan, half Egyptian, but my husband is from Latvia, and his parents did speak some Yiddish and Russian. Michal's parents are from Poland, so they speak Yiddish. These are the Knedlach. Knedlachs. So my matzo balls are ready. You see, this is how they look when they're ready. The water is boiling, and I fish them out with this strainer, spoon. There you go. These beautiful matzo balls will go into my chicken soup. Soup is ready. Look at the beautiful color of the soup itself. It shows us that it is very concentrated. This is a chicken soup. If you leave it for longer, let's say 1 more hour, it will become chicken broth. So, remember the matzo balls? I'm going to pour some pure chicken soup. Remember, the best remedy for every ache you may have. Some matzo balls. And there we go, chicken soup with matzo balls. Bon appetit! Yeah, somebody here wants some chicken soup with matzo ball. But Julie, she's my best customer for this. Yes, of course, Julie, of course. Bon appetit, everyone.